Hello, YouTube. I'm slowly catching up with uploading these vlogs. So right now it is Saturday, September 18th, 2021. It's 12:08 p.m. So just a little bit afternoon, and it's been quite a bit of yesterday trying to upload previous videos and get caught up to, get everything that I've shot actually up onto YouTube. And as I'm recording this, I've got my last video of Thursday still needs to be uploaded, so I'm less than a day behind. So I guess that's or less than 2 days behind. So I guess that's improved. Oh, and I've also noticed that this thing's crooked more often than it's not. And I'm wondering how much of that has to do with the angle of my phone mount versus the actual angle of the road. That looks a little better. I don't know. It's funny. Like, I find when I'm watching them, if I'm watching them on my phone, I'll turn my phone to where the angle of the horizon matches its level, which, then I'm holding the phone at a kind of a funny angle, and see, now it looks off again. It's good. I need to not look at that and just watch the road. Oh my gosh. So anyway, what's going on today? It's Saturday. My next show is Tuesday, back at the Union Jack. So right now it's still my new schedule of 2 shows a week. Tuesday at Union Jack, Thursday at Bullock's. I feel like both shows are going great, although, like I said, Union, like as I mentioned in several videos, I've only had the one show at Union Jack, and the turnout was poor enough that, in spite of the fact that it's scheduled as 8 p.m. to noon, they shut it down at 10:30. I did actually have one singer approach me. I saw her at another karaoke bar last night. Saw her at the Wander Inn last night. And she did tell me that she was super disappointed that it got shut down so early, that it was a bit of a drive for her to, be there for so little. And granted, I think she got there a little bit later than the other people did, so she probably only got to sing like 2 songs. And I feel bad for that. I have no control over that, and I don't know, see how gonna have to see how this Tuesday goes, and kind of discuss that with the owners as far as kind of a strategy for promotion, and kind of knowing, it's like, if we have to like basically run in like a shoestring staff to make it worthwhile, but still keep it going late enough at night that when people come out, they don't want to not come back because they got cut off early. So I'll handle that. I think my plan for tonight. Well, anyway, how about on to what I'm doing right now? I've got a friend who lives kind of far from me. She's out in Gilbert, but she's got a pretty sizable house, and she's a distance from her neighbors. So enough space for me to hook up the speakers that I mentioned yesterday, or maybe mentioned on, I think I mentioned them yesterday. So right now, for those who haven't been like watching every vlog, the power supply for my good Mackie mixer is dead, and it is back at Jeff's audio repair. Jeff had yesterday off. I don't know when to get around to it. I'm sure soldering on that thing is like not his idea of a good time. I'm not counting on him to have it working on I'm really not counting on him to have it working by Tuesday. And honestly, I kind of like, when I can, leaving equipment in places where I use it, just because it's just moving equipment around sucks. I mean, beyond the fact that it's a lot of work and it takes a lot of time and extra driving, it's also kind of hard on the equipment. So yeah, the less I can move it around, the better. I'm to a point, where I've been at Bullocks long enough, and for a while, like, all I was doing was Bullocks. In fact, there was a time period there, and I'm not sure I did much vlogging during that, so I'm not going to talk about it much. I was going to kind of just rolling through YouTube, because I've been really excessively vlogging the last couple of weeks, and I was rolling through YouTube, just kind of looking at my previous videos and seeing, like, how spaced apart they were and stuff. And noticed that I had, several times where I went a couple of weeks without posting anything, and whatever. At this point, I'm giving you more of nothing. But anyway, I did notice most of my earlier videos are like me standing in place on screen myself. Most of which were actually vertical videos, just because it's about the only way to really do that sort of thing without a selfie stick. But or any kind of professional camera setup, which obviously I don't have. I have an iPhone. For those who don't know, I have an iPhone 6S Plus that was rebuilt out of parts by a cell phone shop that I really, really like. It's located right next to Bullocks. Oh, and I have an Obama phone. You notice there's two distinct quality types of videos, like the ones that look okay and the ones that look terrible. Yeah, that's terrible comes from Obama phone. I do notice those are a lot easier to get uploaded because due to, I don't know, it's either hardware or software limitations of the phone, it won't let me shoot more than 10 minutes. And it shoots at such a low resolution and frame rate and such a high compression that the files move around and upload and download quickly. Whereas the stuff off the iPhone is it's at such a high resolution and high frame rate that they, sometimes it's a real ordeal for me to find a place where I have enough bandwidth and enough time to get them uploaded, especially if I run into a situation where I've run out of space on my iPhone and I have to first move them to Drive to upload some stuff to YouTube and then clear it off and then reboot, so I don't have that weird error that I get where it says I'm out of space even though I'm really not, and then download back from Drive and then upload. Like that's real time consuming and tedious. And the other thing that makes it time consuming and tedious is anytime I'm more than a day behind at uploading to YouTube, as I am now and as I have been most of this week. And the last time I really noticed this was when I took my trip a couple months ago out to LA. That's when I really noticed it, but it's certainly been a bigger problem this week. But and I'm sure I could probably configure my iCloud differently, but I really don't know how to do that. I haven't taken the time to take a dive to learn how to do that. But the iCloud by default, or by however I have it set up now, maybe it's not default, anyway, it's how I have it set up now, everything gets backed up on the iCloud, which is a good thing. I like that. Not too worried about any of my pictures winding up on the Fappening, part 12 or whatever we're up to with that. But and hopefully, since those widely publicized issues, Apple has gotten a little bit more secure with their iCloud. But anyway, yeah, security issues aside, I mean, I'm really worried about the security of files that I'm uploading to YouTube for the entire world to see, right? Not really worried about that. But, so the iCloud, automatically backing up is a good thing. I like that, appreciate that. But the issue I'm running into is a space-saving measure, which granted, I mean, I need all the space I can get, but I gotta figure out how to manually control that, because as a safe space saving measure, it will delete the video off my iPhone and just replace it with a thumbnail, with the assumption that, hey, there's going to be bandwidth, just stream it and cache it if I need to use it. And that's not, with as long as my videos are and as bad as my access to internet is in most places I'm at, that's a really bullshit assumption. Yeah, so many times I could have had videos uploaded sooner had they actually been on my iPhone. But having enough bandwidth and time to download them from the iCloud and then turn around and re-upload them to YouTube is just more time and bandwidth than I had available. So I just ended up getting further behind. And I've kind of made a commitment to myself that other than out of context shorts, like that woman and guy whose asses were hanging out of their shorts, I've kind of made a commitment to upload them in sequential order, just because I before I wasn't always doing that, and I had somebody question me about like that where they were kind of confused as what was going on. I'm like, yeah, that does make it difficult to follow. So yeah, I end up at a point where like the oh, look at this fool in the truck. Wow. Yeah, he's special. And we got a tailgater and a Jeep too. Of course, I'm probably driving like a grandma, because I've been told the Saturn takes me to peak grandma status, but you know, whatever. I like this car. Also like driving safe. So I hate the way this lane ends right here. You think ADOT could kind of keep it going? Speaking of which, that's a fun topic that I'm not qualified to tackle. I've mentioned on several occasions I really enjoy going on YouTube and watching videos about city planning, and recently watched one on a channel called Not Just Bikes, and I've been watching this channel for quite some time. I really enjoy his content, but him and I are coming such a completely different mentality. Like he's you know, on the scale of cars are the way to get around and give you, you know, transportation independence on one side, and cars are absolutely evil and should be abolished on the other side. Like, he's right there. He's pretty much on the all cars are evil. And he did a video recently, and I absolutely enjoyed the video, and I agree with 90% of his points. But did a video about Houston, and then he took one little jab at Phoenix, where he said, oh, and Houston isn't even the worst city, and then showed the Phoenix skyline with the word Phoenix underneath it. And I don't even think it said it in the copy, but he said that it showed Phoenix, and I was not the only person who caught that. There were a lot of Phoenicians checking in with that. Oh shit! Oh, I should have looked at Google traffic before heading out. You know, I know there've been a lot of freeway restrictions lately. You know, and this is doubly on me because I get the text messages from KTAR about closures, and I do recall seeing something about the 60. And I in fact, it's coming back to me. I remember seeing it pop up and thinking, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to Mesa or taking the 60 anytime soon. Yeah. Hindsight's always 20/20 in it, which is fine. I'm all my years of cab driving have trained me for this moment. I will just get off at McClintock and turn around, and hopefully I can get on McClintock going in the opposite direction. I don't know. I see traffic going that direction on the 60 here. So I don't know what's going on here. Oh, so anyway, Houston video from Not Just Bikes. I like that he kind of gave his background for people who aren't familiar with this channel, which helped the video be a little less out of context. And he actually kind of cited that a trip to Houston is being his inspiration for his channel becoming what it is. But I mean, he's obviously a person who grew up in Canada in a typical North American Canada. By that I'm not trying to exclude Mexico, but I'm excluding Mexico. But United States, Canadian city. He grew up in a small Canadian city where all the infrastructure is based around the automobile, and that's that's most places. Oh, I see. I'm not the only person doing this. Good times. Oh, they're about to block the intersection behind me. Oh yeah, they're blocking it. Wish I had a rear-facing camera. Oh Lord. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna try to take this off the thing so y'all can see what's going on. I should have known that would have been a possibility. Can you see it? The 60 heading eastbound. They're obviously getting detoured and closed because it is just gridlock over there. Oh, I preach it so often. Look at Google Maps for the real-time road closures. There are resources. Shoot, ADOT is actually really good. Arizona Department of Transportation, really good about posting their road closures. And yeah, a whole lot of people, including myself, that didn't make an effort to check the roads before they went out to use them. Oh, I love this song. For those who are less familiar with me, oh shit, I am so stuck on this. Well, I don't know what I am doing here. Interestingly enough, the backup seems to be behind me. I've made this mistake before. For whatever reason, they've designed it to where if you get on, I was planning on going south on the 101. Yeah, for whatever reason, they made it when you get on at McClintock, you can't get to the ramp to go south on the 101. You can only get to the ramp going north on the 101, which is where I came from. Interestingly enough, this seems to be flowing just fine over here. So, I don't know what they're doing, but I appear to be good. Oh, resurfacing and striping. This looks nice. Wow, this is nice and smooth. Thank you, ADOT. Anyway, sorry, I'm like going in 50 directions at once here. So, oh, I can smell that tar. That smells yucky. That's foul. Yeah. So those who listen to this, watch this vlog, I'm sure you've noticed, like, I have all kinds of music might be on in the background, and people come up and ask, well, what kind of music are you into? And I'm like, I'm into all kinds of stuff. And I've noticed most people that answer that question with that answer really aren't that into music. That's just their generic answer because they can't really say what they're into because they're just not that into music. For many years, when people ask, what's my favorite, I'm like, well, I got 3 favorites, and it's really hard to rank them in a top 3 order. But my 3 favorite artists are Tool, Electric Light Orchestra, and Kanye West. So, yeah, algorithms can't throw that in a blender and figure out what to play me, because there's a lot of stuff I like, there's a lot of stuff I don't like. But the band America, especially when Dan Peek was the lead singer, love this stuff. For not having pre-planned my route, this actually worked out really good. It's all the congestion is behind some sort of closure behind me, so there's like no traffic over here. I don't think they fully resurfaced it. I think they just put a layer of tar on it, but it definitely feels smooth. gosh. Now I'm trying to think of what I was talking about. All the things I was talking about up to this point that I got sidetracked on. What I'm doing right now, yeah. So I'm heading out to Gilbert to test the speakers that I mentioned. So my Mackie mixer is not working right now. Let me rephrase that. Mackie mixer is working fabulous right now. I don't have a working power supply for it right now. It is at Jeff's shop. He doesn't work on the weekends. Even if he does find the time to work on it on a Monday or Tuesday, I don't know that I got the time to deadhead across town to pick the damn thing up. And I'm trying to, I do like to keep my equipment in, I like to keep equipment at a place where I can, as much as I can. And I've pretty much got gear that I like always use. At this point, like I'm always using that mixer over at Bullock's. So I'm thinking it might be to my advantage to actually use this Behringer PA that I used last night, well, Thursday night, at the Union Jack. I've pretty much given up all hope of utilizing their house sound system. The last several conversations that I've had with Adam about it, I can tell that he's just absolutely frustrated and exasperated with the whole setup and the dysfunctionality of it. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe 2-3 months down the line, I might be tasked with changing it over to something a little bit more analog and reliable. Wow, I should be in the right lane right now. I'd be turning right faster. I could have sworn this intersection had a no right on red sign. Okay, I'm clear, I can get over. Most of these exits in Mesa off the 60 have no right on red signs at the intersections. I just figured I'd be ahead to be in the left lane and turn right on the green. Anyway, I guess I'm going south on, I think I'm on Stapley. I was all talking and not paying as close of attention as I probably should have. I hope I'm on Stapley. I'm on Stapley. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm going to near like the, not downtown Gilbert, but like the Civic Center region of Gilbert, which is a couple miles south. And going south on Gilbert Road through downtown Gilbert is not my idea of a good time. There's a couple miles where they've got it down to 25 miles per hour. For a good 3/4 of a mile of that, like it's kind of a downtown area and it's pedestrian heavy, and that makes sense to me. Once you get past that, there's about another mile of 25 miles per hour, which is basically just a money grab speed trap for the city of Gilbert, and yeah, not a fan of that at all. All right, that's Arizona freedom for you right there. No helmet. I don't consider that a bright choice on a motorcycle, but hey, it's his freedom, so good for him. Hopefully I don't have to see him when he wipes out and smashes his head like a melon. Being that is kind of how I lost my sister. So anyway, back to the speakers. So I got my B52 speakers out of storage. They're the only ones that I own that have speak-on connector inputs. Actually, I stand corrected. I have a subwoofer that I bought last year. It's before I started vlogging, but when I first started using the OfferUp app, which I've kind of stopped using just because I don't need to be spending money on that, and I'm not really in a position where I'm ready to be a seller on that. And it's addictive looking at stuff, and I'm like, oh, I gotta get that, that's a good deal. I don't have the money to spend on it, no matter how good of a deal it is. I just need to stop. But when I first started using it, I would in the morning, I would log in, I would refresh and look at the stuff just posted, and be like, all right, somebody's got some good deals. What can I get? And the funny thing about OfferUp, for those unfamiliar with the app, you can set in your preferences for it to track you with to use your location, your GPS location. And generally speaking, not fond of that because I there's privacy concerns. But for me, it's like certain apps, like, why do you need to know where I am at? That's none of your fucking business. But this particular app, it actually utilizes that to connect you to people who are selling stuff physically near you. And you can tell it how far of a radius you want it to look for stuff. And for a city as big as Phoenix, which is definitely one of the most, I want to go on a limb and say it's one of the most sprawled out urban/suburban areas in the world. Yeah, that's handy. And when you use it, not only does it only show you offers that are within a certain radius of you, but it will definitely give, oh, there's a train. It'll also give, it'll give you preferential, like it'll give preference to things that are close to you in what it shows you. And so I found that if I'm regularly refreshing available offers, it'll show me stuff that is within a few miles that was just posted. And that's where the best deals are to be had. If the thing's been on there for a day, it's probably not that good of a deal, or somebody would have already picked it up. And that's how I got a subwoofer from somebody in Mesa when I just happened to be passing through Mesa and was killing time and playing with the OfferUp app. So I've got a pretty good sized passive subwoofer, and it's got a speak on input and a 1/4 inch input. And I checked the labeling on it, it's passive, so I can run speak on in and 1/4 inch out. I might actually, I hadn't even considered, I kind of forgot I owned that, to be honest, but I'm now actually considering using that over at the Union Jack. But that's not what I'm testing today. But yeah, I was just going to say that the B52s are the only speakers that I own with speak on inputs. That is no longer true. That subwoofer, I forget the brand name, but it's got a speak on input. It's also got a pole mount on the top of it, and where you can, there's a special kind of speaker stand where you can put the subwoofer on the floor and then put like a pole stand into it and then put a full range speaker on top of that pole stand. And I do actually have one of those pole stands. It's in my kitchen for some reason. Didn't even think about that, so of course I don't have that with me. But anyway, I'm taking the B52s to my friend's house. It's been a long time since I've used them. I vaguely recall them having some kind of issue, but I don't recall what the issue is. And why I've stopped using them. I'm probably going to stop using them just because I went with active speakers. Because even before I got the Samsons that I've been mostly using now, I had a pair of Behringers that I bought from Jay, the former owner of the oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember what the name of the place was. Goathead Saloon, where I did karaoke for quite some time before they shut down. And he sold me two of his 4-stage monitors really inexpensively, and they're powered Behringer active speakers, and they sounded really good, like for what they were. I mean, I've said many times I'm not a fan of Behringer, not because it's not good gear. It just tends to be kind of poorly made by the lowest bidder in Japan, or I'm sorry, in China. It's made in Japan to be much better, but no, made by the lowest bidder in China, and consequently it does tend to have a questionable build quality, and often not last very long. I can't complain. Like Jay sold me those for way less than retail, quite a bit less than what the going used market price is for them, in good shape, and they were in great shape. And I ran them hard for years before they finally shit the bed on me. I took them to a repair shop. I don't remember which one it was, but yeah, the repair shop told me that it wasn't worth repairing. There's a place I used to use in downtown Mesa that told me that. honestly, I think I've mentioned this on the vlog before. Those particular ones, I want to convert to passive speakers at some point, but that's a project for another day. Today's project, like I said, is testing these B52s. Bought these from another KJ friend of mine many years ago, and they used to sound phenomenal. They're looking kind of rough. I can't remember how good they sound, so that's what I'm going to test out today. And I'm trying to remember how much bass response they have. Memory serves, they actually have pretty deep bass response, which is interesting because they came bundled with an enormous subwoofer, and my friend who sold them to me got a better pair of full range speakers that he was using with them, but he kept the subwoofer because he loved the subwoofer. But yeah, for a pair of speakers designed to run with a subwoofer and sold with a subwoofer, if memory serves, they have pretty decent bass. Anyway, about to find that out. On that note, I should probably end this. I'm over the 30-minute mark, and I'm just see a real challenge of getting this uploaded to YouTube. If I keep it any longer, and I don't know anybody really wants to listen to me for over 30 minutes anyway. So thanks for joining. That's what's up. On the agenda for tonight, I do believe my girlfriend Priscilla is planning on joining a bunch of her friends for karaoke at, not that I'm going to get this uploaded before this happens, but for karaoke at, gotta hit this green arrow, yes. For karaoke at Kay's Place. My friend Sherry is hosting there, filling in for Dan, who is also a friend of mine. I love going to Dan's shows when I can. I like going to Sherry's shows even more. But on the same token, I really need to be promoting the fact that I have karaoke in North Scottsdale. So I'm thinking the place for me to be is probably 92nd Street Cafe. Just kind of connecting and networking with people and letting them know that there is a place in their neighborhood and they're into town where they can do karaoke on Tuesday nights with a killer music selection. Which actually would be an easy point to drive home while I'm over at 92nd Street Cafe, because as much as I enjoy going there for karaoke, they're using a streaming service for their music that has a really weak music selection. Anyway, wanted to get that out. It's yeah, this is longer than it should have been, so I'm just going to sign off here. But I appreciate you sticking with me, and there will be more. Thanks for